Good morning and welcome to Crafty Tuesday. And a beautiful Tuesday morning it is as well. The sun is shining into the room and at last it's spring. Springtime has come. We did our snowmen, we did our winter scenes, but now it is spring. I think the 1st of March is looked upon as being the start of spring meteorologically. Weather people say anyway that it's the start of spring. It isn't the spring as far as we're concerned, it's a bit later in March. And yesterday was the 1st of March, a special day, particularly if you're from Wales. What was it yesterday if you were from Wales? Yes, it was St David's Day. And St David is the patron saint of Wales. I expect some of you, if you do live in Wales, were wearing daffodils yesterday. I've still got mine on today. It is looking a little bit past its best. And leeks, all sorts of things. And in the days that you could watch the rugby and things like that and go to the stadium, you used to see big inflatable daffodils. The crowds had those, and I'm sure those days will come back when you see the Welsh crowds with inflatable daffodils. So I thought, let's make some daffodils today. So simple, but it makes us think that the spring's here and spring is just before summer. So here's one of the daffodils I made. And here's a great big daffodil I made. Look at that. That is an enormous daffodil, isn't it? And then I did a daffodil painting, which I'll explain to you at the end. So the very big one and the not quite such big one are almost done exactly the same. So I'll explain to you what you do because it's very easy. Just get a piece of card. You've realised I quite like black card because I think that things always look a little bit better on black. And then when I hang it in my window, I think it just shows up nicely. So take a piece of card, any colour card you've got, and see if you've got any cake cases, cupcake cases. I used a white one, but you can use whatever colour you want because we're just making daffodils. But although they should be yellow, you could do them any colour you've got. But I've got white ones. And then get some yellow card, just a piece of yellow card or yellow paper or white paper and paint it yellow. It doesn't really matter. And when you've got your piece of card, which I've got here, just cut it out into the shapes of the daffodil leaves, which I did beforehand because I thought it'd make it a little bit quicker. So just draw them on in pencil and then cut them out. Again, if you're little, you might need some grown-up help. Now, the next thing you have to do is just put it together. It's easier, it sounds daft, but it is easier if you put on, whoops, excuse me, I've dropped my leaves. If you put the petals on, the petals are these bits first, before you put the middle on. I tried it both ways, but I discovered it is easier, and you'll see why in a minute when I show you why. You'll think, yeah, Zena was right. Just put the glue on the back of them, and then you can put as many on as you like because daffodils have all different sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's got 5, but you can have however many leaves you want, and then stick the cupcake case in the middle like that. In fact, what I'll do, I think, is I'll cut out another couple of leaves here just very quickly because I think it'll make it so just add on the number of leaves you want. They're not all the same, they're not all the same size. They're roughly the same size, but they're not exactly the same size. So stick them on, and it just gives you, there you are, there's the 5. And then get a little bit of green paper and make the stem. Again, you can paint this on if you wanted to, but if you've got green paper at home, just put the, or you'll see on the big one that I did, see if we can get it to stick on with Pritt Stick, and then stick the leaves on. Not very difficult at all. And then you've got your nice daffodil. Just stick it all on like that, and get sticky fingers, don't you? You can't do much about sticky fingers. That's it. And there you are. You've got it just like that. I put a little little yellow circle in the middle, because you can see the leaves through and the petals through, and I just thought a big bit of yellow in the middle. Yes, just put a little bit of yellow in the middle of the cupcake so it looks like the middle of the flower. And there you go, you've got your daffodil. Isn't that simple? And with the bigger one, so we've got 2 daffodils here now. With the bigger one, it's a similar sort of thing, but I drew round my hands. Can you see? I drew round my hands, and that made, if you do 4 round your hands and your fingers, make it look like the petals. And then in the middle here, that's just some yellow tissue paper. So that's how I did that one. Very big. I had to go off the pieces of paper there because my hands are so big, but you won't have that trouble because you've got little hands. So you can do that one. And then the last thing I did, and I had so much fun with this because you can't really go wrong with this. I made a painting of a field of daffodils. Have you been out at all for your walk, just locally, and seen daffodils growing? You see them on the roadsides, you see them sometimes down country lanes, you see them in the parks, in the cities. Wherever you live, you'll see lots and lots of daffodils are coming out. We've got them coming out in our garden now. And all you need to do is you really need to get a sponge. Just get a sponge that's a circular sponge, and with the green, I don't know, actually I think probably the yellow is better, but they do say with green, just make splodges on your paper, spots on your paper, because that's what daffodils are. They've just got spot, and then put round the edges more spots to make the leaves. Remember I said to you that daffodils often have 5 leaves, 5 petals, but they don't have to have 5. There's no rule as to how many you have to have. So just put spots around like that. They're not really, that's it. They are yellow in the middle. You can see that on these daffodils here. Then when you've done that, get another sponge. I took a sponge like this, and with the green, just go down like that. So easy. You can't go wrong, because as long as you've got yellow and green in your picture, to be honest, you've got your daffodil field, because some fields from the distance just look like a load of yellow. So just do that. In fact, I think this one's quite good actually. Worked out quite well, better than the one I did earlier on. So there you are, and there's your daffodils. Again, you can put them in your window or hang them up in your bedroom and make you think, oh, that's good, the spring is on the way. So there we go, a field of daffodils. That looks good, doesn't it? All you needed was a sponge. You could do it with your finger. I'm positive you could do it with your finger, because you just dip your finger in it and just, look, I'm doing it now. I've only just thought about it and I've made it work. Look, just do it with your finger. You don't actually need to even have a sponge. You might need to use a second finger, but we've got plenty of spare fingers, haven't we? We've got 5 of them on each hand, so we can do it like that. Look at this. This is really quick, isn't it? And I've only just come up with this idea. See, live filming. And look at this. Now the problem is I have got grubby hands. So what do you remember? You always ask the grown-up at home about doing this, and you don't do it where where you've got nice furniture. There you are, you see, look, there's the one I've done with my fingers. So you don't even need a sponge. Make sure you've got a bit of kitchen paper to wipe your hands, and don't touch the walls, don't touch the furniture, don't do anything like that. So there you go, daffodils. Like that. Or the one I did earlier, the great big one with our handprints, or the ones that we can do with the sponge, or the one I did with my fingers. So have lots of fun making your house look like spring, and we can all smile. And those of you who are a little bit older and going back to school, you've got not long, next Crafty Tuesday, you'll probably watch in the evening, won't you, because you will have been at school. So have a good time when you're back with your friends, and keep safe and take care. Goodbye.